If you've been thinking, if you've been considering circling the block, and when I say circling the block, I mean going back to an old boo, boyfriend, girlfriend, because in your mind you're wondering, is he or she the one that got away? I'm telling you right now, if you were in a toxic situation in the past and you left that situation, or that situation left you, it's for good reason. Sometimes people leave so that you can focus on you and you can get your mind together. When I circled back around that block, it's because I still had wounds that needed healing. I still had insecurities that I had not dealt with. Because why else would you want to go back to something that you know was toxic for you in the past? There's nothing for you around that block. Sometimes you just need to sit with yourself. It's very hard sometimes to be in that, single mode when you're used to being with somebody, you're used to using the idea of a relationship as a form of validation for yourself. And so sometimes when you're with just yourself and you have to learn to be your own best partner, it can be very difficult and you can feel tempted to be like, oh, let me go back to that old boo, that old thing. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. The reason why you're going back is because there's things about you that you still need to work on. Don't circle the block. All right, let me know down in the comments below how many of you have you've left the situation in the past, and for whatever reason later in your life you decide, hey, let me see, what's going on with that person. I really honestly feel like when we do that, unfortunately, I feel like we are so familiar with the idea of getting attention that we lessen ourselves to get that attention. And I really had to learn how to sit in my singlehood, how to um adapt to it, because I was always in a relationship from I was 14, I think 12, 13, 14 years old. I just stayed in a relationship. And so I did not know who Annie was outside of a relationship, and I did not want to find out. It felt like, what is this? I thought I did for some time, and I was doing pretty good. And then I started to just become so bored with singledom. I started to become bored. And I'm like, oh, let me see if he's the one that got away. No, he did get away. And you should have left them where they were. There's nothing for you there. If the relationship was toxic, there's nothing for you there. There isn't. And so when you circle the block, I feel like that is your soul is trying to let you know that there are lessons you have not learned from that relationship. I think everyone we come across, there are things that we need to learn from them. Whether it's people at work, you know, friends who are no longer friends, boyfriends, girlfriends, doesn't matter. I always feel like there are lots that we need to learn from the people who we associate ourselves with. And when we try to associate ourselves purposely, try to associate ourselves with people who we know were not good for us, that is a sign of you also not being good to you. There comes a time where you have to say, no, I'm no longer going to purposely put myself in situations that I know no longer benefit the woman I am becoming. Right? In order to step into your power, I feel there's a lot of women, in order for them to step into the power, including me, sometimes you need to be alone. Because alone is where you find out what you truly value, who you truly are outside of a relationship. Because some of us just cater to the relationship. We identify ourselves with a relationship, and that's when we're single. We want to circle that block. Let me see what's going on. Let me see what he's doing. Let me see if we could be friends. Don't do it. Don't do it. Learn to be your own best partner. Learn to be your own best friend. Learn who you are outside of a relationship. And I'm not, obviously, if you are in a relationship and you are happy and things are going well, I am not talking to you. I am talking to those who are single, but sometimes find themselves trying to open up that line of communication with people from their past. It's not necessary for you, it's not beneficial for you. And if you do it, you are going to learn some tough lessons all over again. And that is what happened to me. I had to learn those tough lessons all over again. Oh, you felt like he only wanted sex then? Well, guess what? He still only wants that. And sometimes you just got to be honest. Sometimes you just have to be honest. Sometimes you are unable to attract the thing that you really want deep down, because you are still stuck on the familiarity of the things that have been toxic. And sometimes toxicity can become so familiar that we rather that than nothing. And I don't want that in my life. I've actually been single for some time now, but I haven't entertained men for a good minute. It's been a while. But there was a time where I was entertaining men. And why? No, this is the most. I said this to a few people in my last video where I talked about men who want to invite you into third party situations, and they lie to you and sell you dreams and all of that. Be sure to check out that video. But yeah, I've said since I've been single, this is the most safe and the most sane I have felt in a long time. And no, I don't want to be single forever. However, I'm happy with being single and learning who Annie is. Who am I? What do I really value? Who am I becoming? Who do I want to be? What are my actual interests? Because when I was in relationships, I like whatever you like. Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all saw that movie? What movie was that? Coming to America. Whatever you like. No. You have to learn how to like yourself, how to validate yourself. Better yet, get your validation from God. I think I've said that plenty of times myself again. Because oftentimes, unfortunately, we are looking for validation from people who will not give it to you. If you don't believe something about yourself, that means you put your power in too many other people's hands. You have to learn to be your own best partner, your own best friend. That is where you should start. So if you came across this video and you're single and you've been wondering and considering circling the block, I hope this is your confirmation not to do it. And if you do it, right, because no one can control you, just like no one could control me. If you do it and you know that relationship was toxic for you in the past, you're going to learn a hard lesson again. And it hurts to realize that you put yourself back in a situation that you did not need to put yourself in. I'll tell you that right now. So that's my message for today. I probably am going to be ranting and venting a lot in terms of relationships, because I think I've learned a lot about myself through relationships. And yes, I have, it's almost like I've gotten used to relationships not working out. And that's not, I don't think I should be used to that. Like, I don't think that, oh, this is just my life. No, I think that all these things have helped with my character. It has helped me to be more confident within myself, by myself. And it's taken a while to get there. Okay, so I'm shaking because it is cold. Oh my gosh, I'm just shaking. It's cold. It's got cold so fast. Anyways, you guys, that's it. Don't circle the block. Okay, focus on you. Learn to be your own best partner, your own best friend. And I promise you, you will thank yourself for it. You'll learn to trust yourself more as well. Okay, always talk to God about everything. You will get signs before you make a decision that can harm you. There's always signs, and a lot of the time we just ignore them. And so I implore you to stop ignoring those signs and to start learning to trust yourself, your intuition, by listening to yourself, by learning the lessons from the past and continuing to move forward. Okay, don't get me wrong. Sometimes going backwards actually helps you to move forward with a clearer mindset, with more clarity. Did I receive more clarity? Absolutely. I was clear that it was a mistake then, and it was going to be a mistake again. And I was also clear that I had some deep-rooted insecurities that I needed to work through so that I no longer kept inviting toxicity back into my life. We don't need that. Anyways, I could keep going and going. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you to everyone who commented on the last video. I love having these types of conversations. Like I said, I've kind of strayed from talking about certain things. And now I want to, utilize my voice and, have these conversations. So anyways, much love, you guys. God bless and peace.